In a shocking turn of events that has sent shockwaves across the NFL, one of the league's most dynamic wide receivers is headed back to where it all began, at least where his star power truly took flight. That's right, Amari Cooper is returning to the Dallas Cowboys. And in doing so, he's forming what might just be the most dangerous wide receiver trio in the NFL, teaming up with CeeDee Lamb and the newly acquired George Pickens. The implications are massive, not just for the Cowboys, but for the entire NFC, and suddenly, a franchise long chasing Super Bowl glory is looking more like a favorite than a hopeful. Let's not understate this. The return of Cooper isn't just a player rejoining a former team. It's the return of a game-changing athlete who, when healthy and motivated, is among the most precise route runners and explosive threats in the league. And when you pair that with the electric playmaking ability of CeeDee Lamb, who's coming off a career-best season, and George Pickens, the big-bodied, highlight-making phenom formerly with the Pittsburgh Steelers, you don't just have a solid receiving core. You have a nightmare for opposing defenses. Cowboys fans, already some of the most passionate in football, have erupted in excitement. The announcement came swiftly, but not without buildup. Rumors had been swirling for weeks about Cooper's potential availability. His tenure with the Cleveland Browns had hit a crossroads. While productive, questions loomed about long-term fit, and with Cleveland eyeing some internal shifts and salary cap flexibility, moving Cooper was always on the table. The Cowboys saw the opening and pounced. The move wasn't just opportunistic, it was strategic. After a disappointing playoff exit that saw the offense sputter when it mattered most, the Cowboys front office, led by Jerry Jones, knew changes were needed. And not just incremental ones. They needed firepower. They needed reliability. They needed someone who had already proven they could thrive under the bright lights of a T&T stadium. Cooper checked every box. But what makes this move historic is the context around it. Cooper's return is monumental, but the real firepower comes from the trio itself. CeeDee Lamb has elevated his game every year since entering the league, evolving into a true WR1 with elite hands, footwork, and yards after catchability. George Pickens, brought in from Pittsburgh in a blockbuster trade, adds size, contested catchability, and deep threat explosiveness that stretches the field in a way few receivers can. Together, they bring balance, versatility, and raw talent to an offense that had struggled to find identity in recent years. Suddenly, Dak Prescott is surrounded by arguably the most talented group of weapons he's ever had, and he knows it. The quarterback, often the subject of heavy criticism, now has no excuse. With Lamb, Pickens, and Cooper at his disposal, the Cowboys' passing game becomes elite overnight. Let's take a step back and think about what this means for the Cowboys strategically. Defensive coordinators now have an impossible task. Double-team Lamb? Cooper will carve up single coverage. Focus on shutting down Pickens deep. Lamb and Cooper eat you alive underneath. Blitz Prescott? He'll have 3 quick read options who can all win their matchups off the line. It's pick your poison, and that's exactly what makes championship-level teams. And don't forget about the run game. With defenses forced to respect 3 elite wideouts, the box lightens. Tony Pollard, and whoever else the Cowboys bring into the backfield rotation, will have more room to operate. Suddenly, the Cowboys' offense isn't just explosive. It's balanced, multifaceted, and terrifyingly unpredictable. Now, this move isn't just drawing headlines in Dallas. It's being felt across the NFC landscape. Teams like the Eagles, 49ers, and Lions now have to reassess their game plans. No longer can they rely on forcing Prescott into mistakes through tight coverage. The Cowboys can beat you in so many ways now, it forces a recalibration of how to play them defensively. And in the parity-filled NFL, that slight edge can make all the difference in a playoff game. Let's talk Super Bowl. For decades now, the Cowboys have been almost there. Talented rosters, big-name stars, high expectations. But year after year, something went wrong. Injuries, coaching misfires, untimely turnovers, and always a feeling that the pieces were just short of clicking. With this move, that perception changes. Because this isn't just a flashy addition, it's a chemistry reset. Cooper already knows the system. He knows the playbook. He knows Prescott's timing and tendencies. His return won't require a learning curve. And that means the offense can gel quickly. Combine that with Pickens' raw talent and Lamb's peak performance, and the Cowboys might hit mid-season form before September is even over. Inside the Cowboys facility, the energy is palpable. Coaches are reportedly ecstatic. Offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer now has one of the deepest and most versatile playbooks in the league at his disposal. The front office, often criticized for being reactive rather than proactive, pulled off a masterstroke. This wasn't a desperation move. It was a calculated, high-reward swing that could redefine the team's trajectory. Even more telling is the response from other players. Prescott himself posted a cryptic emoji reaction on Instagram just moments after the news broke, followed by a photo of him and Cooper celebrating a touchdown from a few seasons back. Micah Parsons, the Cowboys' defensive cornerstone, tweeted simply, "This is it. No more talking." And the fans? The fans are ready. For a franchise long defined by legacy, Staubach, Eichmann, Irvin, Smith, the time has come to write a new chapter. One that doesn't just celebrate the past, but finally delivers on the potential that has loomed over the team for years. The Cooper-Lamb-Pickens trio is more than just three talented receivers. It's a symbol of what the Cowboys are building, an elite, modern offense capable of winning in multiple ways. And while no Super Bowl is won on paper, the paper now tells a very compelling story. Let's not forget the locker room dynamic. Cooper's return brings veteran leadership. His calm demeanor, work ethic, and experience will be invaluable in mentoring Pickens, who, despite his talent, is still adjusting to the full responsibilities of an NFL star. The balance of personalities matters, and the Cowboys seem to have found the right mix. As OTAs approach and training camp looms, all eyes will be on Dallas. Every practice rep, every preseason snap, every locker room quote will be dissected. And rightfully so. Because this isn't just a football team, it's a high-octane machine, potentially on the brink of doing something that's eluded the franchise for nearly 3 decades, making it back to the Super Bowl. Let's remember the NFL is a league of windows. Teams don't stay stacked forever. Injuries happen. Contracts come up. Chemistry is fragile. But when all the right elements come together, talent, timing, motivation, you seize the moment. And if the Cowboys are going to do that, now is the time. This move signals one thing above all else. They're all in. No more waiting. No more excuses. No more wondering what could have been if only they'd pulled the trigger on a bold move. They did it. And now they've got the pieces. The only question now is, can they execute? Because if they do, if Cooper returns to form, if Pickens thrives in this new environment, if Lamb continues his ascent into the league's elite, the sky isn't the limit. The sky is just the beginning. So buckle up, Cowboys Nation. The Cooper-Lamb-Pickens trio is here. The NFL has been warned. And the road to the Super Bowl just got a whole lot more interesting.